Hello,
Here we
hello,
are
hello.
with
The holiday version,
Artist Coaching Podcast Holiday Edition.
Yes,
holiday
we
edition.
international edition this one.
Yeah, it's not the first. Jay also signed in from Asia somewhere.
Vietnam at one point.
Vietnam, yep, yep.
And maybe didn't you also tune in from New Zealand?
Uh, could be.
Or
I'm
not?
not sure.
New
I don't see
Zealand.
we're
Uh,
live, by the way, on YouTube,
Yeah,
but
it takes a while.
oh,
Takes a
that
few
takes a while.
seconds.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
takes a
Cool.
few seconds. Should be
Nice.
good.
hey guys,
Can you guys
well,
tell me where you guys are?
I'm in
I'm in
Barcelona.
Spain. Oh, that's Spain also.
Yeah.
Right around the corner, only 5 hour drive. Now I'm
Jesus.
at the house of my parents. They are real life pensionados. They are here in Spain most of the year, but in August they think it's too hot. So then it's up to me and my family to go there, and for
Were
the
they right?
occasion, it's really hot.
Okay.
But hey, I have a San Miguel for that.
Oh, yeah, I just saw
Mm.
Ralph, and he showed me his beer, and I was a bit jealous, to be honest. I was a bit jealous.
Yeah,
I just finished lunch, but the next thing I'm gonna do is opening up a beer as well.
that's what Jay does all day every day.
That's what
He
sparks
wakes
his
up with
creativity.
beer.
Hey, this is my holiday destination, eh? Hey,
Yeah.
a real artist never feels like he's working.
There you go. Hey, guys, did you see that the post about music and entertainment also went well, not necessarily viral, but it did very well. The discussion got sparked, let's say.
Hey,
Aha,
I
which one
love the
is
discussions.
that? The discussions are online are awesome actually because we can then afterwards like put in nuances and stuff, but it's helping the community forward, I'd say.
Oh, but
Yeah, I think so.
also it's nice to see all the different points of view, and that's what it is. Nobody's
Yeah.
right or wrong. It's all
Yeah,
just different points of view, and yeah,
that's what I also commented on that mouse comment. Like somebody said, like you're not gonna win that conversation or something, and I also said like a conversation is not about winning, right? It's about hearing about
the
each other's
conversation.
opinions. Exactly, it's about the conversation. So
Yep.
unfortunately, he never responded that mouse, but who knows? Maybe in the
Yeah.
future.
Maybe if
Yeah,
we pitch
exactly.
in the San Miguel, you will drop by.
True,
But
true.
I
it's
would.
fun to see how different people think differently about it. There were some really good points made in both discussions, and there's also a lot of comments from beginning artists, or at the look of their profile, they look like beginners. That really you can see they don't really know how it works, and then they just scream something because they just want to agree with that mouse so badly, or just in general, and then it's
Well,
up
yeah.
to us, I think,
Even
to
apart from the deadmau5 conversation, you can see the beginning ones. They are
yeah.
more idealistic than the ones that already made a few yards in the game, and yeah, during the game you kind of lose that idealistic view of things.
What do
Actually,
you mean
it's
with that?
well, idealistically, the world should work in a certain way. I saw somebody comment on that you as an artist being on a main stage, you should never like divert from your own view of music, and that you should just play what you want to play, and that's your vision of music.
Mm.
And he's not wrong, you know. I mean, idealistically, that's what it should be. You're an artist and you have a view on music and you bring it. And if the people come, they come. And if they don't come, they don't come. But in practice, it works a little bit different. And because that's just not going to fly, especially with main stage public. I mean, main stage public, maybe even like 50% doesn't even know who's playing, besides when it's Garrix or Tiesto or somebody of that
Main stage
stature.
audience, you mean?
Yeah, and
Mm.
so what you try to do is you try to, okay, these two records or this record is for the public, this one is for me, this one is for that. You try to. It's a little bit about how do you say it? Compromise, and you try to bring your vision. You don't want to just pour it over everybody. You try to bring it like one step at a time, and I think that's something you learn when you make when you're making some distance in the game. That sounds a
I
little bit
think
weird
it's
to say it like that.
I think adapting your set to the crowd is the almost the essence of what DJing is about. I commented on someone who I think maybe we're talking about the same comment, Ralph. Someone who's
Yeah,
like,
it
you
could
should
be.
only follow your own thing as an artist. And then I said, as a producer, maybe. As a producer, you maybe just want to make, hey, this is what I make. I don't care what anyone thinks. But as a DJ, you definitely, in my opinion, have to watch the crowd and
Hmm.
adapt. And adapt doesn't mean play what they want to hear. This was another good comment by someone. We have to call him out, or like in a good way, because he said you shouldn't play what the crowd wants, but what the crowd needs. And that's such a smart comment about that. That basically captures DJing, in my opinion. I think that's such a good take on it.
I think you've got
Yeah.
a good point with the fact that as a producer, it's a different mindset because as a producer, you kind of make what you want to make,
Yeah,
and you solely focus on what you want to do. But as a DJ, you're also an entertainer, right? People literally come to you because they want to be entertained
Yeah, but that's
in
something
some
you
kind of
can
way.
discuss about. I mean, you're not a clown.
What's
You're
entertaining?
yeah, and but the thing is, also, and as an artist, it's not that you do one thing per se. There's like these nuances of bringing your sound, and that depends also what kind of crowd you have in front of you. And when it's a main stage crowd, then you should know, like, okay, 50% of the people here, they just want to have a good time. They're not like really invested in music per se. They want to have a good time at a festival. That's a different crowd. Uh, when you, for instance, play a rave of a few thousand people, and they actually know what's going on, and that gives you a lot
Yeah,
of more space to do your own thing. And I think
but it's
that's
hard to.
uh,
What I always notice that for artists or DJs, it's hard to get into that mindset because most artists are like music connoisseurs, you could say, as in they know they're specialists. I always call them like they know about the details. If a DJ is in the crowd, they listen to how the transition is going, which kick is in the song, how the clap is going, like how the arrangement is built.
yeah, they're
That's
a bit
all
more
about
critical.
details. Yeah, it's all about details. While regular people, the normies, they don't know about panning a hi-hat, or they don't know about compression or limiting or about arrangements. They just think about, do I like these songs? Can I dance to these songs? Can I sing along with these songs? Do I have a good time? That's kind of the only thing they think about. And the DJs, the artists, the specialists, it's just a different way of listening to the same music.
yeah. I think the best DJs slash producers are very aware of that balance. So they really sense, hey, this is what I want to make, and in the details like play out. But also they're aware of like how to play the crowd with subtle changeovers and subtle vocals here and there.
Hmm.
Um, that's what makes a good DJ. And also, it's funny that you say it's like if you talk to beginning artists that it's hard to figure that out. I mean, it is hard, you know. I think it is very hard to if you're a DJ that plays many shows, to figure out every show. You need to figure out what's this crowd gonna be. You need to do your homework before and during the set. You have to, depending on the festival or club, but you have to adapt, and that is hard. And I think that's why there are good DJs and bad DJs, and the only difference is track selection and timing sometimes.
Hmm.
Um, that's why Carl Cox, if you ever have the chance to go to a Carl Cox set, I really
It's
think I'm
amazing.
yeah, I'm always like I've seen a couple of his sets and I'm just like, wow, how is he doing this by just mixing one track into another, basically. You know, of course there's things he does extra, but the basics, the foundation is two tracks, one is playing and the other one is mixed in. And I'm like, how does he do this for hour? And you're 2 hours further, you're like, I didn't even hear a transition. It's
Yeah,
like he's just
exactly.
made this whole journey. It's amazing.
I once went to Carl Cox. I'm not sure if he still does it, but with Ultra, he always had his own tent. He always had his
Yeah.
own stage. Um, and that
Tent.
was a magical, yeah, stage.
The back on Ultra still at tens.
That's how old I am. But I went to that stage and it was just magical as you described. Like somehow you walked in and 15 minutes later you just found yourself dancing on the dance floor with everybody else in the same groove. And it's kind of sounded like in the whole set nothing changed, but somehow it was interesting to listen to.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how is this even possible? You know, it's super. Yeah, it's like it's an amazing skill.
yeah. Agreed.
It is.
Um,
It's not so not such an easy job as just pressing play. Some
Yeah, but that's
people,
what most people think, right? Like especially with the whole meme on TikTok, the "what do DJs even
yeah.
do"
You
thing.
know what I also was amazed about the comments when I checked a lot of Tomorrowland stuff about people saying it's all pre-recorded. They don't do transitions. They don't do this, that, and man, do people still think that? It's insane. Like
It's the
They
this
do.
is called the dead mouse effect, because dead mouse in a interview or podcast said, no, all the main stages they only do pre-recorded, and I know this is a fact, blah blah blah. But I don't see him hang out with the main stage act, so how does he know? He just assumes. But the way
oh,
he brings it,
he played some
people,
main stages, of course, yeah.
yeah, but he the way he brings stuff, it's very convincing, and because he's been doing this in the let's say the big headliner space for 20 years, people assume everything he says is right. Um,
Yeah, but you know, the only thing I can think of is when there's like the last 10, 15 minutes, and there's this fireworks show, and they have to like align the firework with the music. You're gonna pre-record that last 15 minutes.
That
And
makes
hey,
sense.
that makes sense. And come on, people, okay, hey, that's
Well,
we can deal with that. But that's the
but this
only
goes
thing
back.
that
This
for the
goes
rest,
back to the
yeah.
enter. But this goes back to the entertaining or music part, as in everyone wants an amazing end show, and in order to get an amazing end show, you need to kind of prepare a few
Hmm.
things to get the entertainment level to the max, right? So it's always, I think, a balance between the two.
Yeah, it's all time coded. Yeah, you cannot mix in. If you miss your cue, then bam, you're behind 8 bars, you know, and that's like 15
yeah,
seconds when it's 128 BPM, and
Is it
you'll have
also how you
shit
communicate?
show.
Is it also how you communicate with your girlfriend? You're 16 bars late.
Well, it was easier when it was 128 BPMs because then 8 bars was
Yeah.
just 15 seconds. But now when we do a lot of 140, I'm done, toast.
yeah. I sometimes when I'm DJing and I'm stressed, like, oh no, I don't have the next track ready yet, and this mashup I just played only has one drop, so I need to figure out what the next track is gonna be fast. And then before you could be like, oh, it's exactly at 15 seconds. So if I find the first kick at exactly 15 seconds, it's like that's good. And now it's like the tracks are 134 BPM. You're like, is it this one or this one? And it's like, oh, that could, and it,
Uh-oh.
and
Uh,
that's also one of those things the crowd wouldn't even really notice. Only those few producers or DJs in the crowd. But me, I did it again this last past weekend in China. I played like an
Oh yeah.
intro, but I missed by 4 bars for some reason. So I like hand selected a cue point, and then it was still like, so I thought it was going to be in the break, but then it's still at 4 bars. No
hmm.
one in the crowd will really notice, but I'm just like, fuck, this sounds horrific.
Uh,
What did I just do?
if you do
How
it
was
too
China, by
often,
the
they will
way?
notice.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
How was China? Because you went for a weekend, right?
Yeah, yeah. I did 2 shows, one in Ningbo and one in Beijing. Ningbo is a city. It's not very familiar for people, but there are 8 million people living there. So just a small city in China.
Yeah.
And in Beijing, in a club called Super Miami, which before used to be known as One Third. And I always
Oh yeah.
loved coming there. And this was really really fun. And the crowd is actually very aware of all the new music and like also the new styles. You can mix in a bit more techno, a bit more housey things. It's really fun to
Yeah.
DJ.
For a long time, China was hooked on big room only, but there's definitely they have they've become really wise music wise, and they know about all the latest trends, which is really cool. They're really receptive, and it's a cool crowd to play in front.
Yeah, for
Did
sure.
that change over time? Because I've never been there personally, but I can imagine living in China, you're pretty, um, well, at least what you hear is that you're pretty kind of blocked from the outside world, as in no Google and stuff, no YouTube. They have
Yeah,
their own stuff.
I think it's definitely over the last years become way less isolated, let's say. And also before, like the EDM fans always found their way to Instagram and stuff. But it, like Ralph said, it was definitely very big room based, and there were, um, yeah, even instances where it's like, hey, that's like they really want you to play big room, or and they would never ask me like you should play this, but they would be like the promoter would be like, oh man, I love the big room sound, and like do requests, and but it was big room, a lot of big room,
Hmm.
and now it's just like yeah, open to everything. And one of the promoters in Beijing said like he was pleasantly surprised with how different my set was from when I played there in I think 2018. So yeah, I mean
As in
that's what you
sound
want to
wise.
hear. Yeah, just he said like, hey man, it's a different sound, and he was like surprised that it was different, but in a good way. So he was really like he loved it.
So he
So
didn't hear your mixing fuck up.
he was like, but that one time there, you missed 4 bars, didn't you? You missed 4 bars, and I was like, yeah, I'm
I
sorry,
want a
I'm sorry.
discount.
A
Yeah, he said I wanted
discount,
this,
yeah.
and I was like, yeah, it's good because Deadmau says that that's good for exposure, and
You know, if Deadmau listens, he's gonna, yeah, we're gonna have a war, man.
He will get after you,
not
yeah.
saying anything wrong about the guy. I think I respect him very much as a producer. Just like the way the things he says, he's very convinced of himself, but not always right. So that's yeah, that's how I describe that mouse. I think,
Okay.
but I'm sure he's a very nice guy. So
Hey, Jay, I have no time code or whatever on my screen, so I have no clue how far we are in the episode, but I also don't have access to Discord at this point, so are there any
oh.
questions?
I by the way, I don't see that the live stream on YouTube ever started. Oh, it is. It did. Never mind. So
Okay,
maybe
Well,
maybe
I
you
it's
could
can
check.
watch the questions there.
18 minutes, I see here.
Where do you see that?
On top, recording. Now
Are you
it's
holding your
18.
screen vertical? Vertical
No,
or
no, no.
I see it.
Yeah,
There were
vertical.
18
Yeah,
minutes indeed.
vertical. I had to think about what vertical and horizontal was.
that's the bear kicking in?
What do you mean? It's my 8 beer only. Oh, fuck.
Of the afternoon.
Hey, I said 8 bars, not 8 beers.
Oh, stupid me. Takes
Um,
15
I'm
seconds.
I'm loading Discord, but every time I load up Discord, it seems like my computer is about to take off into space. Um,
Okay.
but we have questions
Okay.
actually.
Hey.
Um, one from the 8th of oh wait, the 5th. So that's this week. Then yeah.
That's
Hi
yesterday.
Joey, hope you're all good. I had a question for Ralph. Is Ralph allowed to upload his main stage Tomorrow set onto the Bass Checkers YouTube channel, or does Tomorrowland want the set be uploaded on their own official channel? Thank you.
No, no, we're allowed to. Yeah. We're actually
Okay.
also planning to. And
Oh,
we're
nice. That's
also thinking about, yeah, that's, but I'm now on holiday, then nothing much happens, to be honest. And, but what I think is a good idea to just cut the set into clips of music. Some has not ever been released on YouTube or whatever. And then upload it as clips, as music clips, so people can listen to the tracks we haven't really released and cannot release as such. And hopefully it will stick and nobody will take it off. But yeah, we're still in debate. But it's on the Tomorrowland YouTube anyway, so no
Yeah, but
rush.
how does that work? Because I know that it used to be, at least with Ultra, you kind of have to agree with them beforehand how you were going to handle the whole upload thing, right? So who's
Yeah,
going to
yeah,
upload
yeah,
it
yeah.
when? And I
No,
remember
no,
at,
yeah, but you're allowed to
I,
upload it to your own channel.
someone needs to fact check me on this, but I believe Hartwell has been one of the only artists who was allowed to upload his own Ultra sets on his own channel. He negotiated that.
No, that could be. I don't know.
I'm not sure if that's true, but that's what I heard.
No,
But
but
anyway, it's
Tomorrowland's really easy about it, and I also saw some comments about Tomorrowland exploiting artists because of our Tomorrowland DJ fees discussion. But Tomorrowland's actually just a really relaxed organization, and they allow you
Yep.
also to put up the content on your own channels. They're really easygoing, and so I think that's a wrong image people have of Tomorrowland being this big bad wolf. No, it's the direct opposite. They're really
and they
invested in
also
their shit. Yeah.
seem to collab post with everything you post, right?
Hey, real easy about that as well.
Yeah.
And it's for us as an artist, it's really helpful. They have a big following. We can reach all the right audience, and maybe also people who are about other genres of music can also get to know us. And no, it's just a
I
really
feel
nice organization. Yeah.
I always feel like Tomorrowland really understands it's about the crowd and the experience for the people, and not so much about look at us or hey look at the artists.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very refreshing. That's very refreshing to work with and very inspiring. I think.
What I'm kind of curious about for both of you, did you notice a spike in followers and such on after playing Tomorrowland?
Yeah, we
To be
did.
honest, I don't keep track of my followers that much, so I wouldn't know.
Mm.
Okay.
We are lately. We are because yeah.
Ralph is chunking his beer.
Chugging that beer.
Oh yeah, I just take little nips. Yeah, it's a nice beer. Now I'm gonna finish it.
I
Mm.
was waiting for him to put in a
Chug,
screwdriver.
chug,
Like,
chug, chug. Yeah,
So
that's the
what was I
next one.
saying? No, no. Well, lately we have seen a lot of activity on our socials, especially TikTok and Instagram. We don't do that much on YouTube. I upload sometimes on YouTube Shorts, but it just doesn't get the right traction yet. But no, so I've been checking out Social Blade and seeing all the numbers. And so that's why I was checking it for the last 2 months. And also after Tomorrowland, yeah, you could see a little peak. But of course, we were also in the live stream. So to say, the first weekend we weren't in the live stream, and the second weekend we were. And you could see the live stream did make a lot of difference.
for YouTube only or all the other channels as well?
Everything, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's really the live
yeah,
stream that creates the impact.
yeah. People see a lot of people watch the live stream, and yeah, you could just you saw a peak. At this point, we go by like we get like 800, 900 new followers a day on TikTok, and at that day we saw a peak of like 2,200. So it couldn't be a
Hmm.
coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
Amazing.
Big one.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's
Any
Hey,
really
other?
cool to see.
I see a question from Josh Letizier, who is always an
Hey,
Back
avid
again.
listener of our podcast. So welcome back, Josh.
yeah, he's doing
Question
well. I
for the
see his name a lot, so that's such a cool thing.
yeah, exactly. Question for the podcast: have you seen the new DJ.studio app that is trending at the moment? It's a DAW especially for making DJ sets slash radio shows and mashups. Okay,
Nope.
are you
Yeah.
sponsored, Josh? Because curious to know if you've seen it, tried it, and your thoughts. It sounded
I
like
haven't.
such a. Did you see that new app? It's a DAW especially made for making.
It's called Letizier app. And
Yeah,
no, but mo-
I've been using it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been using it for my radio show because it's very easy. It works. I found out of it through Laidback Luke, because beforehand I was doing my radio show in Ableton, and yeah, that works. But this is way easier. There's like it auto mixes, and then you can adjust your transitions very easily. So I think it's very good now. And what I like about it, it's they're very open. It's almost like open platform because they really ask for your feedback, and there's a lot of updates, and they even have like a like kind of a forum where you can say, hey, this is wrong, and then they say, hey, we're fixing this, so you can see what updates are coming or what they're working on. So yeah,
Well,
it's only
what is
getting
it
better.
exactly? You can make live mixes in it.
Yeah, so you upload like, let's say 20 tracks, and then you say auto mix, and then basically it has yeah, with 20 tracks a bit more, but like an hour mix. And then you can say, hey, I want my transitions to be 8 bars or 16 bars, whatever. And then you can, after that, adjust. And what is really nice, if I last minute decide to add a track, I can just plonk it in the middle and it will mix it in nicely. So it like doesn't mess up your whole mix. So it's actually,
Okay.
um, yeah,
You
really convenient.
plonk it in the middle.
You plonk it in.
That's a new title.
Okay.
J. Archway. Plonk.
Plug.
Plonk.
Plunk it in.
Plonk.
Yeah.
No, Marlon actually uses it as well, and we used it also to prepare the Tomorrowland mix.
Just
And
to hear how it comes out.
yeah, and I mean, time-wise, you just had to plan it, and if you listen to the mix also, you can hear Marlon stress out at the end that he wouldn't make it within the hour, and the good stuff was at the end. So there, the mixing was a little bit less transitions than before. But no, it's a real good tool, and I'm actually amazed. You can also um, ask the program to make the mix for you, and the program actually comes up with a lot of cool suggestions to place tracks at a certain part in the set, and especially traffic. We used to have it like 3/4 in the set, but that program actually suggested to put it like the third or fourth track. And then we were thinking about it, and it was actually a genius idea. So no, it's a really good tool, and
Yeah. And do you know what it's based on? As in, do you know where it
Yeah,
gets the info from?
they work with what's it called? I have the app here, Mixed in Key.
Ah, yeah.
oh,
And
okay.
the Mixed in Key app has been around for a while. They of course check the key, but also the energy a track has. I'm not sure what that's based on, but together with those kind of data, they say, hey, this is how you want to build your radio show. Then you have the most energy at that point, or something like that. I'm not exactly sure the parameters they use, but yeah, it like Ralph said, it can come up sometimes with a transition that you're like, oh wow, I would not have thought of that.
No,
So
it's
that's
really
cool.
cool.
A smart idea actually to build an app like that. Oh, I always hated building my radio shows. Oh, that was boring.
It is,
I
yeah,
I also mixed it in Ableton. Always took me about 2 3 hours. It was so boring to do. Like,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
So as a DJ, you didn't like mixing records.
as a DJ, I liked mixing. I just didn't like automating stuff in Ableton because
Okay.
you had to kind of put two tracks on top
You
of
could
each other, and
also
then
Marlon used to mix his radio show live.
Yeah.
yeah, I never did that. I never had
Hmm.
Pioneers as a DJ set.
I used to do it with CDs. The first few of my Inspire radio shows, I used to mix with my CDJ 800s at home
Mm.
and mix live. And then I was
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
yeah, Laidback Luke also says it needs to be live. So then when I switched to Ableton, I kind of felt guilty towards Laidback Luke. But then now, Laidback Luke is sponsoring or like sponsored by, or at least
Relook.
work together with DJ Studio. So I was like, he's over it.
Yeah. But don't you think it could be a unique selling point if you would start doing it live again and record it every month and upload it every month, the whole set and stuff?
I used to do some live streams during Corona. For me, a DJ set has to be in front of a crowd. I don't see the benefit of DJing in front of my camera unless someone wants to pay me for that huge amounts of money. I'll always happy to do it. But no, I feel like it's so weird to me DJing for a camera. I rather really want a crowd in front of me.
You're always about
Me
the
too.
money, Jay.
I'll sell out easy. I'll have my principles until
Uh,
someone comes with a big bag of money, and then I'm
ah,
like, hell yeah.
fuck
Yeah,
that shit. No, we were actually
exactly.
doing a lot of. We had checking the base radio. we always recorded it. I think you also joined a few times, Jokke,
Yeah,
in our studio.
it was really cool.
And yeah, it was always, we just recorded it, put it on YouTube. And but to be honest, um, people didn't really care if you would do it live or not. They just want to hear the new music. And yeah, so yeah, who cares if it's on Ableton or not? Yeah, you should just do it the way you like.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, some I remember. Could you check the WhatsApp group because I remember you or Ralph sent something in last week to say this is a good topic to talk about. I can't remember what it was.
Um,
Me? Not probably not me.
Probably not. Yeah,
was it
probably not.
no, that's a screenshot. A Fortet quote or something about Fortet.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that
was
was funny actually. Yeah.
him ending with the minimal track. It
Um,
was funny that the guy said like it looks like it's edited in, and if you look at it from that perspective, I was laughing out
Oh
loud. Like
man, that was funny.
it looks
No,
so,
but there was
looks
also
so.
somebody in the, I think it was a TikTok comment like, yeah, Fortet wouldn't like change his plans. Well, he was totally right. He didn't. But I couldn't say the main stage public at Lollapalooza was a good match for Fortet. And of course, don't get me wrong, who am I to say something about Fortet? I love him and he's a great artist. But every great artist has like a crowd they should play for. And yeah, this was kind of a mismatch. It was
Yeah,
weird.
nobody really moved, except for that one girl who was in the camera. Like, yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah, yeah.
oh,
Also, didn't really match the music.
talking about nobody moving. This is a hot topic maybe in the dance scene. Phones on a dance floor. I've seen a TikTok of Adam Port playing his massive hit "Move" on in Mykonos on the dance floor. No one is moving. They're all, or like 90% is filming. And then I'm like, oh man, it used to be, hey, I like that artist. I want to go see him and dance to him. And now it's like, hey, I like that artist. I want to show my friends that
I'm
I'm
in
there.
Mykonos. Yeah.
It's like,
You know,
wow.
I saw something. I don't know which stage it was or a club, and it looked really awesome. And then I was thinking, like, I would be one of those people who will record it, and I want to. I would be the one that want to show that to my friends. Like, look at this. This is insane. We should go there. And so I get it to film it, but yeah, I wouldn't be filming the whole thing. It's also
No,
because I'm also got to think about it. Like before, you could dance a little bit, be in the moment, also do a little bit crazy, and don't be worried about being filmed. That's also a thing.
true.
Yeah,
And
that's actually a good point that you're making. I was talking about that with my girlfriend on the beach here. In Barcelona, a lot of girls go topless, and we started talking about it. Like it's actually weird because you don't see it that often anymore.
who started the
And I was
conversation?
me. and and we also and she also says but like yeah, but you know what's different these days is that you can go topless, but if someone films it or puts it online, that's not necessarily something you want. So it's the same thing. It's maybe it has to do with the fact that you're not safe anywhere anymore. Maybe something like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, there's always a break on it because you know you don't want to become the next meme
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
or
And I don't
pornographic content, but I don't have to worry about that.
you'll sell it on your fans, your OnlyFans.
Oh yeah, it would be the worst OnlyFans ever.
Yeah. No, but I don't know. I completely missed this whole vibe, by the way. I know it from back in the days, but the whole kind of music, Rampa, Adam Port thing. Back in my days, I was a big Rampa fan, as in I really loved his music back then. But from what I was knowing is that he was underground. Um, and now somehow I opened up TikTok and everything I saw was these three guys in a DJ booth in Mykonos and Ibiza. And
Everywhere.
what
Tomorrowland main
happened?
stage. Yeah.
What happened?
It's
Maybe your
the good old
algorithm.
not
Yeah,
yeah
okay.
No,
that
but
and but also
they're mainstream. Yeah.
the good old dance industry where if you stick long enough to your genre, if it was once mainstream, it will go popular at some point. I think now like Big Room is gone, it will come back again in a different form maybe because music's always evolving. But
Are
this is
you
one of those
declaring
things like
EDM dead?
yes. I know, but like let's say the what we talked about last time, like the old style big room, it's not
Yeah.
being made, it's not really being played. It's like already evolved a lot from it. There's a lot of new influence. But the music they're making, they've been making that for a long time,
Yep.
and now it's become popular, and it's just because they're so good at it, and they've been working at it for so long that they know basically exactly what they're doing. So then, if then that style becomes popular, they're kind of like the first ones to blow up because they've been there
Yeah.
forever.
True.
So it's like really good.
No, I just noticed. It was surprising to me that I saw that name popping up that much because Rampa was really underground, at least back then, and somehow it seems to be a big trending DJ name at this point. So
I shameless plug here because "Move" by Adam Port was on Instagram Reels number 32 on the trending chart for tracks used in Reels, and good old Egg Boy, and I have the screenshot here, was number 36.
no way.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna
insane,
focus
man.
But is that like used on as a background music on a as a reel?
on Reels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Dude, that's sick.
yeah. So it's just funny because like Eggboy is a side project where I'm like making beats and I just with the guys from Tom and James, they have a label, so I release it on their label, and then out of nowhere, tracks from that label just started popping up on the reels, and now this one is in trending. Now it's still like 50 trending worldwide, which is crazy.
How
But
much is it being used? Can you see that?
yeah, this one has almost 50,000 reels, and it's been
Wow.
released like 1.5 weeks ago.
So
That's
So it's like
insane, dude.
crazy.
imagine 50,000 reels, every reel being watched 100 times at least.
Yeah, and there's like reels with millions of views. This is now 56,000 reels. It's number 18 in popular. Okay, I'm number
Insane.
Dude.
18, 18 of the world on Instagram with
And,
Eggboy.
and you can't see the
18,
total
holy
amount.
shit. I'm above Bad Habits from Ed Sheeran. This is
What the
crazy.
fuck?
Look,
He's trending. Oh, Jay's
look right there.
trending.
I don't know if it's
I
going to
can't
focus
see it.
again, but
No, it's out of
there
No,
it
I
focus.
is.
can't
Ed
see it.
Sheeran is
No, no,
right.
no.
But it's
Jay's
like
trending.
it's two sides to this because that's of course awesome, but it's also very, let's say, forgettable music that just works really well under reels. But it's not like I'm not sure if I'm gonna build a um, like fan base from it, if you know what I mean, because it's
Jay,
like
you're a millionaire. What are you even doing here? Let's go.
I don't know how much it's gonna. I don't know. If I get a million per play, I should be good, you know.
No.
Um, but it's
Yeah,
also
but
interesting because I'm now going down the road of like seeing what that revenue stream is going to be like because it's not very transparent over at Meta, who owns Instagram. So and you have the amount of reels and then the amount of plays, and they're not very transparent about hey, this place gets you that much money, and probably is
So
a
it's not that
very
every view counts as a play.
I'm not sure. So no one is really sure except the
yeah,
somewhere in
but
the
don't
office
you
of Meta.
also
So
see a lot of Spotify plays then?
no, no.
That's weird.
Spotify is it's not really converting into that. So let's say if I now look at Eggboy Vibe Check, 3,700 Spotify plays.
That's
So
weird.
Whoa.
it's not at all converting into that. But that's what I mean with like it's not a hit like Ed Sheeran or like the Adam Port track because it's really like real background music if you hear it.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
so that's why I'm not sure if it's gonna bring me a real fan base. But it's funny because it's like it's a side project. I love making it, and it's just really cool to see it being used. I mean, that's just what
Dude,
you want as a
18th.
producer.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Yeah, I just seen it now.
That's
It just
crazy.
updated. So yeah, it's just really cool.
Okay. Yeah, but keep us up to date because I'm interested to hear
Yeah.
how much it actually. Well, I don't need to
And
hear the exact
also,
numbers,
we,
but
we, we should
Yeah, but if
change
we,
that.
I will give like in a few months because um Max, who is former Dirt Caps, also has a like a something that has been used in 200,000 reels. And he said like he got a big chunk of money like January ish. So it might be that there's like one time a year where there's um, more money. But I will definitely give like approx numbers, you know. So if it's
so
like
who
hundreds or
pays it to
1,000,
you? Is that Meta directly, or is it Buma
the
Stemra or SCAP
distributor
or
the distributor collects the money, and that's from Meta. So they get I can see on my statement that's from Meta.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and then there's publishing, which is also a thing. Publishing is separate. So I will also get Buma statements about it. Buma in Holland is the organization that collects your
Your
publishing money,
holiday money.
holiday money, or I can buy new synthesizers or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just awesome because it's one of those things where, oh fuck it, I'll just make some beats and I like doing it, and then it blows up. And that's also to everybody listening. Um, it's like started like Tom and James and Max wanted to start a little label, and they literally started like, let's just use DistroKit, and now they have a label which, yeah, that's going to do some serious revenue if this keeps going. So it's one of those things where, yes, we are um, producers that are connected, but it's,
Oh,
I don't feel like we really used it. We just they then just started releasing independently as a label, and now they're like growing. So it's for everybody listening. Hey man, this is possible. You know, it's
follow your
cool.
passion.
Follow your passion, and you will always make it out. No, that's
Yeah.
but it's yeah, it's really cool.
That's really cool. Hey, but
Yeah.
we should change. I mean, we have the artist podcast cast with Joe Suki, Bass Checkers, and Jay Hardway. Let's just make it an Egg Boy
Egg
because,
boy.
yeah, come on,
Hey,
man.
Jay Hardway ain't
It's like
retiring
a
yet, boy.
marketing magnet. Marketing magnet.
We have a celeb right here.
Yeah.
Jay Hardway ain't retiring yet, boy. I have two more questions actually in the Discord.
Oh, let's go.
From
My phone is
Renzo.
firing up, by the way. Holy shit.
I got a couple
Hot.
questions, says Renzo. You've talked about having mentors in previous episodes. Who were your mentors? And what's something you learned from your mentors that really stuck with you?
I can answer that. Um, two mentors, I would say. Two people who had a pretty big effect on my career. One is pretty known, which is Layback Luke. He really impacted my career because he kind of recognized me the first time. He gave me the recognition I needed to become a bit more self-secure, I would say. And another person is someone nobody knows probably, but it's someone who helped me from the beginning when I first started playing in my local hometown. And he was working at the bar where I was playing, and he was a bit older than me, had a bit of experience in the music industry, and I think he kind of noticed like he has talent or whatever. So he immediately told me like, you know what, if you've got any questions about whatever in the music industry, just let me know and I'll help you. And he kind of became my tour manager, mentor, manager, all in one, I would say, in the early days of my career. And that person really helped me. He also joined me on my first international tour to South Africa. So that was a big mentor to me. And musically, I would say it was Layback Luke.
Nice.
South
For
Africa, that's
me,
pretty random.
What?
South Africa is
for
pretty random as a
Yeah,
first
that was
tour.
pretty random, but that had to do with the fact that I released on Sneakers Music with Upsta, with Appie, and
Hmm?
a couple of those releases got licensed to Soul Candy, which is a big label in South Africa, kind of like the spin-in records of South Africa.
Hmm?
And that label owner emailed me saying that he licensed the songs and that he wanted to combine it with a tour.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
so yeah, that was around
Was
that
that the
era.
guy, the world's strongest DJ?
No, but I did met him there. Yeah, I did
Yeah,
met him
okay.
there. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
it's such an amazing country. Like I actually still talk to a few of those guys. Actually, funny enough, talking about guys who were not known back then and blew up after. Um, shit, what's his name? He's like the right hand of Black Coffee. Um, oh, I'm blacking out here. But it's a guy that I saw in South Africa. He was I think he was a sidekick of a big radio DJ, DJ Fresh. He was a sidekick of him back then. Temba. Do you know Temba?
I don't know. No.
He's really big in the African house and also is joining Black Coffee a lot. But I
Okay.
went to Defected Records Festival a few years ago, and then Temba was on stage, and I was like, how did he ended up here? And I started talking to him, hey, how are you? He recognized me after like 8 years or whatever. Uh, so that was fun. But yeah, I still talk to a lot of people from that too.
Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a
To
Yeah,
beautiful
get
country.
to get
yeah.
back to the mentor question, for me, a huge mentor was Martin Garrix.
Hmm.
And it was funny because I met him when I was like 19 and he was like 14 or something. And but the way he came across, he was so like he knew exactly what he wanted. He knew exactly like creatively what he wanted, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you should do this and this and this." And I learned from him a lot, like creatively and like that confidence, and also on stage. And I mean, he took me on a lot of his tours. So I guess, yeah, he really felt also like a mentor, despite the fact that he was, yeah, much younger. Because if you're 19 and 14 is such a world of difference.
Yeah.
It's different from like 30 and 26. But yeah, that I think also the guy here, Ralph, definitely see him as one of my mentors because I joined Ace Agency and I was basically very like starting out, and Ralph was one of the guys that said, "Hey man, let's go to the drink together in Amsterdam," and just kind of as a fellow Brabander took me under his wing a little bit, and I
Drink
also
some
hung out
beers.
with.
It's what I'm good at, huh?
He's very good at that. But then we also hung out a lot
It's
in
empty.
their studio. So and they're like Ralph is very clever business wise as well. So that, yeah, just talking to Ralph just also gave me a lot of insights about how things work and negotiations and stuff. So yeah, man,
Aw.
Ralph, you're my
It's
mentor, man.
very
Aw.
nice,
Yeah.
Jopke. That's nice to hear. I'm actually blushing right now, but probably I'm a little bit red of the sun as well. But
That's the beer.
Yeah, it's
um,
Spanish sun, bro.
no, but the thing is, it's always nice to talk to peers about the music industry, and especially, I mean, we were working in it for quite some time when I got to meet you, Jopke. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's kind of logical when you hang around each other, and then you talk about all your experiences and your insights. And it's always nice when people do that. Just take the time and just tell them how you see things, what you've experienced, and maybe some things can help you. Some things are just you walk a different path, and that's so cool. And for us, that was definitely. I mean, we had Tiesto. He was a big help for us. The funny thing is when we released Mush Mush on his label, and we sent it out to everybody, like really everybody. It was like his mission, like we will not miss a label or DJ, and nobody responded. And then we saw Tiesto playing it twice in a row in his Club Life radio show. So we all anxious send him a direct message on Twitter, like, "Hey, Thijs, we saw you playing our track, and maybe it's something for you to release." And then we got to know him as like being one of the best A&Rs out there. He gave us advice on how to finish tracks and what's important to look at, how we should finish Mush Mush, and that was a big help. He really like lifted this veil we had, and we could see things way more clearly how things just work music wise. And also, a lot of people down the road helped us a lot. And also have to say Sidney Sampson. He was one of the first that, and like when I met Jopke, he was that guy. He didn't make an extra effort, but he just talked to us, you know. and he just and we hung out in the studio, and he talked to us about how things work and how he did things and how he saw things. We didn't follow up everything he said or how he did it, but it helped us. Like sometimes it's nice to know, like, okay, you're in a decision making point. So what do you do? What are the steps you go through, and how
Yeah.
do you should you think about stuff? And yeah, it's always really valuable when you can talk to people that have experienced stuff more than you did. Yeah,
What I've experienced from having a mentor as well is that it kind of feels like some sort of cheat code, um, because you have information that other people might not have, and now you can make better decisions. That's what it's all about. If you're on a crossroad in your career and you've talked to someone who has been there, um, you get information that's literally that you can't find on the internet or whatever. It's experience that you're looking for, and those people can give you the answers to those questions, which eventually will help you to make better decisions. And it might prevent from you making mistakes that end up costing a lot of time or money or wasting time. And I say might prevent because it doesn't always do. Uh, but
It
yeah,
it prevents it prevents certain mistakes, I guess, but then you
yeah,
make different mistakes that bring
exactly.
you that are already a step further in the process, which
Yeah,
is really just
exactly.
helpful. Yeah.
You can't avoid making mistakes, but it will definitely help you to make better decisions, in my
yeah.
opinion.
And what I learned most from them is what I also think you guys also have. I mean, we're now also investing our time, whilst I could also jump in this pool right here, and like being a genuine person, and that takes time to share a little bit, and
Hmm.
I think that's important. And those guys, they opened up, and I appreciate it a lot. And I always told myself, like, okay, I'm gonna be that person as well. And you can do it only up until a certain point, of course. And
Sure.
but yeah, I think that's something we all learned down the road, and it's an important lesson.
True.
Yeah. Hundred
Is
percent.
is there another question, Jay?
Yeah, one more. We're 52 minutes in, so that's the last question then, and then
Perfect. Yeah.
very nice episode. Hey guys, I had a question about creative processes. Do you schedule time to create a melody, or do you wait for it to come to you and jot it down? How do you balance the creative burnout? Um, something we That's a question by VO7, by the way.
And what was the
On
question?
Discord.
If we make time to create melodies.
Do we make time, schedule time to create a melody, or do we wait for it to come to us?
Hmm.
And how do you balance the creative burnout? Um, for me, what I realize over and over again, I need some headspace to be able to be creative. So like I need some clear mind when I'm in the studio. And I invented a new tactic.
Golf.
No, I invent new tactics every week. Golf is a big one, but sometimes there's days when you're like your mind is just racing all over the place. You have 20,000 things on your mind, and you want to make music or need to make music. You go to the studio, and then sometimes I'm just like all over the place, and I can't focus, and I take out my phone every now and then. What can help? This is one tactic. It's not a. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I choose a nice documentary or a Netflix movie or something that I can watch that just really relaxes me because you can focus on one thing. Um, and then you get into this after like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe you're like, hey, I'm way more relaxed than I was. And out of nowhere, I have like the headspace to create music and get into that. And I realize if you're like really rushed or there are 20,000 things on your mind, I need a way to really clear that. So it can also be like I need to go do a workout or
I think
golf
it's this.
or
I
walk around
think
the
it's the
block.
same
Or,
for everyone, man. Like you just can't be creative if you're stressed. The only way to be creative is when you're relaxed, when you're in a good state of mind. Um, and that's also, if you think about it, the best ideas come when you're relaxed, right? When you're on holiday, when you're in the shower, when you're working out. that's when your brain kind of can go into a different mode and come to those ideas. Because if you're just working on the day-to-day tasks, or running in between business meetings, like you're not gonna finish a song, or not, well, maybe finish a song, but not create a song uh, in between those things. So being in a relaxed state of mind is essential as an artist, because otherwise you won't be able to create stuff, not be creative.
Yeah, and the problem with it is it can feel lazy to watch Netflix, for instance, because like it's to me sometimes it's just weird if I'm
Ralph
like
is smiling.
I'm in my I go to my studio and I'm going to work and like um you say to your wife and to your kid like I'm
Yeah.
going to work, bye, and then you start up Netflix when you get into the studio.
I
It
can
feels
so
very weird. It
I so
feels very weird,
visualize
but
you the way when your wife calls that you go like, not
yeah,
now, honey. I'm very
I'm
busy.
working. I'm working. I'm watching this documentary. But it is a thing where I have had this many times in my career. I feel kind of guilty because I
Yeah,
need to be busy. I'm like I need to work on music. I want to make it, but really, you sometimes need to switch off, and you need to
yeah.
find what works for you. And it can be watching Netflix and try to not feel guilty about it because then you stay in that loop of like I need to be busy, but I'm not, and then nothing comes out. So
I honestly believe that as an artist, it's essential to have
a
like
Netflix subscription.
yeah, but almost kind of schedule your not working time, as in just walking for an hour every day in between, like during lunch, for example, like just strolling, letting your mind off, like not listening to podcasts or whatever, but just an hour of walking and not doing anything. The result that will give you creatively to your brain is insane. Just because you're kind of emptying the bucket, right? You're not fully you're not just processing things constantly, but you're kind of, yeah, relaxing, and that's essential as an artist if you're making music.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree too.
Ralph,
Yeah,
what do
well,
you do?
I honestly thought Ralph wouldn't agree with this, but
no, I mean, I think everybody works in a different way. Um, yeah.
well, I like
Uh,
it.
Nice leg hair there,
no,
I
Joey.
was just touching my toe.
I'm I'm not gonna watch Netflix or so. But sometimes, yeah, where you
You
um,
play FIFA,
I,
right? On the office.
yeah, we don't do that anymore because we got into fights too many times. No, but you just
Good call.
or there's always something to do besides making music. Or we have a lot of releases. Then I take time to mix down the record. Make sure sometimes I forget to make the extended or an instrumental, and then I hear some stuff. I always roll into something, and something needs to be done. And done can be administrative tasks, can be just cleaning the studio. I mean, it's a mess at some point.
Yeah,
Cleaning is
Uh,
a great way to empty your
cleaning
mind.
helps. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
yeah, and then there's always something, or you're just gonna get some food, and that's
Yeah.
also nice. And you
One
take a
thing, one
stroll
thing,
anyway.
one thing I do want to say is that there's a very thin line between knowing when you're consciously taking time off to kind of reload, and when you're just postponing your work. Like you really have to be
Mm.
aware of, okay, am I being lazy right now, or am I actually trying to reach a goal with this thing? Like
Thin
uh,
line. Yeah, I
it's a
do gotta
very thin
admit,
line.
yeah,
Yeah.
I do want it. Our latest studio now is in the middle of the center of a big metropolitan area called Waalwijk, and okay, it's a little city, and but it's right in the
Is
center
that by
because
any
I
chance next to Drunen?
it's by yeah, well, big
Almost.
metropolitan area Drunen, yeah, it's next to it,
Drunen.
and can't miss it when you're in Holland, and
And the land of ever.
yeah, well, that's gone. Land of
Yeah.
never now. But no, but I did purposely want to be in a area where there's something going on, so I can take that stroll. I can get some
But
food,
not
and
Waalwijk.
and don't have to take the car.
No, but you got a point because that's what's still bugging me. And my office is in the middle of nowhere at a farm in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah,
which has its advantages, you know, because you're in the middle of nowhere, so you can work really focused and you can do great walks and stuff. But at the same time, what you have as well, that's what I'm missing. You know,
yeah.
I would love to be in a place where you can just go out and stumble into people and
You do have cows there, so you could kill a cow and make some beef.
I sometimes do some cow cuddling,
Oh,
but
that's
yeah,
nice.
that doesn't always help. Hey, maybe we should end this episode.
It's an
Yeah,
hour.
we're one
Yeah.
hour in. So,
An hour in, perfect.
I'm done,
guys,
guys.
thanks for
Me
taking
too.
the time on your holiday. That's actually really cool.
No worries. I love my job, so that's why I'm here, and I
I
love you
love
guys.
I love talking to you guys, man. It's been insane. I'm gonna get another beer.
Me
Yay.
too.
And
Me too.
Me not, eh? Me not.
Me not. Yeah, guys.
you're gonna watch
Ralph, have a great
Netflix.
holiday. Oh,
Thank you.
by the way,
I might.
before I forget, the giveaway from Fruity Loops ended today, and the winners have been announced in the Discord. 2 winners,
Ooh,
and the other one will be chosen
sweet.
today on. Oh, what is actually happening?
Yeah.
Hey, the winners.
That was fitting. But the other one is being chosen on Instagram later today. So congratulations to all of you. Enjoy the license of the FL Studio bundle, and thanks for participating, everyone.
And see you probably next week.
Yes, next week we have a guest, I guess. I think we have a guest, yeah. So
Ooh, mystery
yeah,
guest.
mystery guest. So we'll see you guys next week. Ralph, enjoy your holiday.
I
Jay,
think I'm
enjoy your
flying
18th
next
spot
week.
on Wednesday.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't want to think about it.
Might be different time next week. We'll talk it through and
yeah, we'll see.
see
Okay,
everybody the next episode.
The next
bye.
Bye
episode. Bye bye.
bye.